No?
Yeah, I think Aaron must be right because I had that. I had the choice to go custom live stream.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's custom live stream. Yeah, yeah. It didn't have that at all for some reason. I can see it up top now, but it wasn't there before. Okay. All right. Anyway, we've started. Um, Welcome everyone to this slightly late Civic working party on the 20th of May 2025. Usual side of things that any decisions we make go to leisure and community unless it can be delegated to the club. Apologies for absence, please. Colin, have you got them? Do you know any?
Yeah, Vicky, I'm not aware of
Okay.
any other appointments.
Councillor Cox, he's at the Arts Centre attending the show.
Okay.
And Joe is not available. He's in Bury. Um, Brian Mills, I haven't heard from. And I think that's it. Right. Um, just thinking, did you want to record at all, Colin, the meeting as well as live stream? It's up to you.
Well, Jane is on the call, so
Oh yeah, sorry, she's inside, Jane. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Sorry. Everyone keeps moving about. Sorry. Right, declarations of interest and requests for dispensations. Anybody? No. Right, moving on quickly to minutes of the previous meeting held on Tuesday, the 25th of March.
I'm to share those.
Have you got them? Yeah, otherwise I've got them. It's up to you. Yeah. Okay. I'll quickly ask for, I assume everyone's read them. Can I have a proposer first of all, please? Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Luccarini. All those in favour, please show. That's fine. Thank you. Matters arising. I think we're going to be discussing everything anyway, if I remember rightly.
Adam's just joining us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to be talking about everything anyway. So why don't we go straight on to hello, Adam, if you can hear us. Item 6 then. So we'll talk about BE80 first of all. Held on the 8th of May in the morning. So we talk about the flag raising. That went very well. I produced a video of it, went online. Quite a few people turned up. Councillor Brown kindly brought his two, I'm going to call them motors, but I don't know, I can't, they weren't motors, but you know what I mean. Thank you for that, Tony. Don't think there's anything, and unless anyone's got anything to say about the flag raising, I think it went fine.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, Chair.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, flag raising. Happened to me, and it's happened to quite a few people before. Is there any chance that there could be a cleat on the actual on the mast for the flag on the flagpole, so that when the flag goes up, we can just tie it off on a cleat, and then after the ceremony is over, someone actually lock it up inside the thing, because it's unless you've had sort of practice at it, it's not the best, and it doesn't look very good when you're struggling to locate the ropes. I'm just saying, so on each of the flag poles, if we could just have a cleat so that people could just pull the flag up, and then just tie it around the cleat until the ceremony is over, and then someone locks it up in to the proper place after. Just make things go a lot smoother, I think.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that and see what we can do. We can get in right by the hole. We can at least get our fingers in there, so we can probably hold a nut in place, and then we can bolt a cleat onto the side. Yeah, I have to say that the grip mechanism, it always worries me, and I think anyone who uses it is scared to that thing is going to come down and the flag is going to come coming crashing down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually a really good shout, Tony.
And for my marine background, yes, you do need it to be bolted on correctly. That's fine. Okay. Then we move on to the evening session in St Mary's, which Max kindly allowed us to do it in the absence of being able to use the art centre. I thought it went extremely well. We had about 150 people there. Church was nearest damn it full. Couple of minor little things, but that's there. I am currently, or I have done, I spent several hours today, and I know Brian just sent me an email about a slight muck up, which I haven't looked at yet. I've created the video. It's up to about, I think it's about an hour long, the video now with everything in it. So hopefully in the next few days we can get that published. And I'm trying to get it finished so it's ready for the town twinning at Erringhausen when they come over, which I think is end of next week, is it, Bruce? Something like that. I'm trying to get it all finished for that. Anybody any comments on VE? How it went? Any problems? Councillor Brown, Tony.
Yeah, to be fair, congratulations to everyone that actually organised, the event in the church. I really thought it was a terrific, event. One of the best that I've been to. So, well done all involved. Really, it really was good. Thank you.
Thank you. That's, I think, relevant people here, I believe. Yeah, we had I think we had a lot of people turn up. A lot of it, was, and he's not here, is Joe. He did a lot of social media pumping out for us in that last week or 10 days, which was good. Everything went well. I recorded the bell ringers as much as I could. And we had some good comments from people. And I want to particularly thank Ryan, Sharman, and Max for all the work they did. We met several times before the event. Went through everything. Sharman, particularly, I believe, created many of the slides. I put together the video, but I couldn't do it without all the slides and everything. So it was a good day. I mean, okay, it's a one-off. We're not going to be doing it for 81 or 85, I don't think. So, any thoughts, Brian, Sharman, or Max? Anyone?
Thank you to you, John, I think, for everything you did for it as well. Yeah, from my point of view, I think things went very well. It was very good to see so many people there from lots of different groups and different sort of people coming along, which I think was really encouraging. So thank you.
Any thoughts, Brian, Sharman? Nothing?
I need to reiterate what Max has said. It was good to see so many groups taking part.
Okay, lovely, thank you. And obviously to all the speakers, which are mentioned on the video as well and on the night. Yeah, it went very well. Right, anything else on V80? My only other comment was going to be about the banners and the bunting. As much as I didn't want to put the bunting up, it is good stuff. It is, when we were putting it up those few days before, because it's wire throughout the thing. My hands were a little bit full of metal, if you like, at the end of the day. But the banners looked good. And we subsequently, since that night we put them up, we've been up last week. We went out and put all the Jubilee clips up, which we didn't have. So that's all. So they should last us for some period of time.
Yes, if I can put on record.
There you are.
If I can just put on record our thanks to those who attended to help us, including John and Aaron, to help us with those evenings with the bunting and the banners and all the use of the platform. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm just trying to put the office light on, that's it. Great, thank you. Let's move on then, if nobody's got anything else, on to mayor making. Obviously, Councillor Smith was the outgoing mayor. We did live stream it. I haven't actually looked at the live stream properly, and we thought it was dropping out, but I have videoed it as well. So when I get a chance, I'm going to render that and put it online as well, because that's a higher definition video as well. So hopefully, I thought the whole thing went very well. The band were good. I enjoyed them. Wasn't sure what I was going to be listening to initially, but that was good. And I think, yeah. Anyway, David, Councillor Smith, any thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was going to listen to either. So I'd heard them play once before, but I thought it'd been nice, as the mayor shared with one of the charities, to get them involved. And I know they thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and it can be absolutely nerve-wracking if you're doing that for your first time, without, the experience that some of us got. Yeah, but I thought they did very well. They enjoyed themselves, and I think everybody enjoyed them as well. So yeah, different from last year, but different is good.
No, that's good. Yeah, and obviously there's quite a few people there from what I saw in the bar afterwards. It's good. Anybody else? Any comments on the mayor making at all? No. Right. Should we then move on to what's coming up? And the first thing, of course, is Armed Forces Week. I'm going to call it, because we start off with Armed Forces flag raising. I'm assuming we're going to be doing the same sort of thing for the VE flag raising, other than it's a different flag, of course. I'll provide the audio side of things. Are you going to bring a couple of vehicles down again, Councillor Brown? Yeah. Whether we'll get the cleats done by then, we may do. We got any marine supplies around here? Yeah. Any what used to call ship swindlers? Yeah. Okay, and the Armed Forces Day itself on the Saturday, the 28th. Sarah, I'm going to look at you to start with, because I've just seen your email, by the way.
Yeah, that email is referring to the 677 Squadron, who are going to bring a helicopter with them this year, which will be quite nice. It will be every little boy's dream, I should think, to have a chance to clamber in and every little girl's, being sexist, to clamber in a helicopter. So that will be cool. We've got about 10 stalls already booked in. So there's the Breakfast Club, Local History Group, Family History Group, the Haverhill Aviation Society, RBL, Police Cadets, Air Cadets, hopefully, Adam, Ridgewell Air Museum, the Veterans Foundation, AA, and Kelly and Andy with their Lancaster charity. We're waiting to hear back from Duxford, so hopefully they'll come as well, because that's quite nice when they come along. So we've got the Glen Morriston band booked. They are going to parade down the High Street at about 11:20, and then Brian has confirmed that the RBL will march behind, and Cheryl's going to bring some police cadets as well, and hopefully Adam, there might be some air cadets that will march down with the band. And then on the square itself, we've got a mixture of a solo performer, Glen Morriston, and the Silver Band. So there'll be a fair bit of music, and I've also booked in some novelty acts this year. So I've got some bouncing guards with their bearskin hats. Viv the Spiv, who's a bit of a comedy act, which will celebrate World War II, obviously, you all know that. And what's the other one? Sergeant Majors. So some blustery Sergeant Majors, who will just go around the crowd working their street performer magic. So I think that's the summary of Armed Forces Day, unless I've forgotten anything. Oh, Max, I've got 2 questions for you. I can't remember how long the ceremony is that you do at 12 o'clock. Because I just need to allow enough time in the schedule to.
So I don't know that I've particularly been part of that
Oh, I thought
that
you were.
ceremony. I do something on the Monday.
I thought I remember. Am I just making it up? You don't say something on Armed Forces Day itself?
No.
No, I've made it up.
We have a flag raising at 1 o'clock,
Okay.
which are the 3 armed forces flags. Because on the Monday we've raised the Armed Forces Week flag.
Yeah, there was just something in the event plan, and I couldn't remember about it. So maybe it didn't happen, and I've just filled in some gaps.
We have done some things in years gone by, but we normally say the Monday is the formal bit,
Formal bit,
the
yeah.
standards and everything else, and Max does his bit and the
Okay.
RBL. But on the Saturday, the RBL are obviously there for the flag raising,
Okay.
but we don't
And that's
really have any speeches or anything like that.
no, and that's at 1 o'clock, isn't it? That's what we've
Yeah,
decided.
sorry, Councillor Brown, go on.
Yeah, normally the mayor does say a welcome and a few words
Oh, the
around.
mayor does, yeah, but not Max necessarily.
No, Max is normally up the church tower, generally taking pictures, etc.
Yeah,
Except
when
not
the
this
parade
year.
comes and things.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the past I've sort of stood up the top just so that I'm present.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to be back for 1 o'clock this year, so I might not even be there. I might have to send apologies. But no, I'm certainly not expecting to say anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if we go back slightly, the convoy will be leaving at 11.
Yeah.
It would be there 5-10 minutes later.
Yeah.
The end of it takes about 10-15 minutes by the time it gets there. And then obviously we did it down the only while you were talking, Sarah, Adam did put his hand up, or not hand up, his thumb up to say that the cadets will be around. So I'll leave you to organise with him what they're doing, particularly in terms of the parade.
Yeah, my other question for Max was a favour, really, and that's whether the stilt walkers could use the church lobby as a sort of dressing and a resting area.
What do you mean by the lobby?
That first bit where you go in, where there's the cafe and the tables and chairs.
So, because we'll be open that day, and we'll have some stalls and things of our own in that space. So, I think that's going to be difficult, I'm afraid.
Could they use it as a resting area so they don't have to go back to the art centre to?
About the vestry, Max.
Yeah, if they're welcome to sort of come and be present in the church, or even in the church itself.
Okay, cool.
But the church will be open and in use.
No, that's okay. We do have the Barclays room, but it's just a bit of a trek for them. But we can we can work.
So yeah, they're very welcome in the church and to rest in the church, but just be aware it will be open and in use.
Okay, thank you. I think I was going to order some flags, and I did order some flags, and I've got some mugs sitting in the box office cupboard. And I think that's it from me on the Armed Forces Day, unless anyone's got any questions.
We just talk about the helicopter because I saw the sizes of in the email, which they said
just over 15 foot they need.
Not 15 foot, 15.
Was it
15 meters?
Well, that's a bit of an error on my part, isn't it?
Yeah, so 10 by 15 meters,
which is big difference.
Is 50. I think if I remember rightly, Gary, looking at Gary, the market square is about 34 meters long.
Yeah, about that. My first concern was hopefully it's been driven in and not landed.
No, I think it's on a trailer, or transporter rather.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to struggle with all the vehicles as well.
Yes, I think maybe we need to go up and have a bit of a mooch around tomorrow. Then I think and have a look at the square because it's going to be very tight with because you obviously need space for people to move around and how we get access to it. What time does it have to leave? How will we get it off? What's the order? But
Yeah.
we can talk that through this week.
Yeah, they're going to be coming at about 8 o'clock in the morning
Okay.
to get there first. So yeah,
Well, we could use bits of the high street for some vehicles as well.
that's what I was going to say. The bits in front of Peacocks and Argos and stuff like that.
Yeah, even on front of the church a little bit as well. As long as we leave a space for emergency vehicles, that's the important thing. Councillor Lucrini?
Or if not, can we not go for a road closure and put the helicopter in the loading bay so people can then walk round in the road?
I think it's too late, isn't it? Don't you have to give them like 3 months' notice or something?
Usually
you
you do,
do.
Chair, have to give them that much notice, but the loading bay is the entrance for the motor vehicles from the convoy.
Mhm.
But we could look at it. Do we think that amount of space is the operating space they need to bring it in on a lorry and get it off the lorry, and then the lorry goes away?
Yes.
It seems rather large for that hell of a helicopter.
They're saying, I normally say 10 by 15 metres for the footprint is comfortable, but we do need a bit more clear space to set it up and space to get it off the trailer.
Okay, so it must have the full rotors on it then.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's a
Okay,
picture.
when we were discussing it, we were hoping that it might be stubby ones. Is it actually an operational helicopter then?
I suspect so.
Oh, fair enough.
No.
We'll work something out, but it may impact on the number of vehicles we can accommodate. So I'm just working out in my head, because we mentioned what time the convoy is leaving, what time the parade is leaving. So the parade in the past has entered the market square, done a performance and gone up to the top, and then the vehicles come in. The parade doesn't try and work its way through the vehicles.
No.
So the timing that you guys mentioned a little bit earlier, the 11:20 for the parade and 11 o'clock for the convoy. The convoy is taking the short route, which means the convoy will beat the parade to the market square. So whether we want to take the parade round the back of the crowd in Camps Road and onto the top, which we know is difficult to keep that an area wide enough for the parade to get through. We may just need to think about that a little bit.
Bring it to the churchyard. Into the
Up that little gate and steps isn't really good for a parade.
Yeah.
There's level access if you came through the churchyard on the other side of the church.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
that's level.
Oh, so I know what you're thinking, Colin. No, I was thinking about the main entrance into the main door.
I know, but you're still going to get Camps Road. Sorry, I thought you were trying to avoid having to get to the.
No, I was talking about coming up the high street, turning left, just before the church and up the slope. It doesn't bring you across the market square, but it brings you in the top end by the Drabbit.
Okay.
So
I thought there was some steps there where it meets the high street.
No, that's actually the path on the other side of the church, next to the market square. It's a slope.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Councillor Brown.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. What, as a suggestion, what about putting a helicopter up behind the flagpoles, up in front of the Drabbit on that area there, as just an idea? And also you've got to think of somewhere for the low loader to park up after it's unloaded. So that's just something aside. No doubt that can be sorted. I think the Breakfast Club want to take part as well, Sarah. I don't know if you've got them on your list. I don't think I've got a gazebo up yet.
Yeah, I've got them.
Steve Gibson phoned me up the other day. Have we sorted out the charity? I think that's been done, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I contacted Blesma and said, "Oh, we'd like for you to be our charity this year," and they said, "Oh, yes, that's great." And then I haven't heard anything from them since, so I'll give them a nudge because they were going to send us some stuff.
Yeah, if they could, that'd be good. And I presume that we're going to be given the vehicle owners the fuel contribution as normal, Colin. Yeah. And the mugs are in hand, which is fine. And yeah, so that's all my points. Thank you. Yeah.
The usual thing, Danny, Councillor Brand, I guess you don't know how many vehicles.
No,
No, that's one of the problems we're going to have, yeah.
I don't know.
Do we know how many big ones they're going to be? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say at least half a dozen. It's just so difficult to say. I mean, as I always said, if it's raining on the
I
day,
know.
a lot of Jeep owners they won't come. And there's a lot of shows and that now. It's not like the lockdown years, so people will go off the local and say they're going to come to ours and they don't, etc. So, yeah, it's always like throwing a bit of straw up in the air. I mean, we've got our hardcore owners that are going to come along,
Yeah.
rain, wind or shine, but you can never tell, exactly. So I would if whatever I said would be, open to the gods. To be fair.
No, that's fine. I understand that. In terms of the low loader, I'm thinking what might be quite a good idea is to approach Charles Gertine or Damien about putting it in the back of Gertine's up Mill Road, because they take Arctics in there. No, but it's right, very close next door. And obviously we can go out there. Is that something you could do, Sarah?
Yeah, I can definitely get in touch with Damien.
Yeah, and ask him.
Yeah, and West Suffolk, I've just remembered, have agreed for free car parking that day as well in the Arts Centre car park.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, we need to let people know that who are attending and everything. Right. So we need to worry about the vehicles. We need to worry about the size of the market square. Obviously, we'll want barriers down, so I can do those early in the morning. I can do the cones. What I normally do about 6 o'clock in the morning, especially if we got the low loader coming in, because he'll want to be able to get up the side, up the slight curb there. Right. Brian?
Yeah, John, I'm still a bit concerned about the parade. Will there be a formal dismissal at the end of their march from the Arts Centre, and where they're going to do that? I mean, we haven't decided that yet, have we?
No. What did you do last year, Sarah? Because it had all been there by the time I got round there. It had been and gone, as it were.
There wasn't, to be honest, I can't remember. I'll just be making it up.
Can you remember, Colin? Sorry, I just see your hand go up.
Yeah, they came onto the market square and they played a tune, and then they marched up onto the top and were dismissed at the top.
Okay.
If I remember rightly, Brian and Charmin, I think you were both there. That's right, isn't it?
I think it is. I think that was what happened.
Okay, but I know what Tony mentioned about using the top for the helicopter. You wouldn't get it on there anyway because you've got big barriers there. But of course we're going to have all tech and stage, or not stage, but mics and everything else like that up there, aren't we, Sarah?
Yeah, but not that much, because the pipe band won't need it. They're just so loud anyway, and the silver band won't need it. It will just be the solo singer, and
Right.
so it's quite minimal tech.
No, but we obviously have to keep the space clear as well for the flag raising as well. Okay, we'll just have sorry. So, what's your name? Colin. That's right.
I was just wondering, Sarah, and I know it's not quite the same as the full tech rig, but are the smaller portable things that we used for the Christmas trail, that's kind of what they're for on a small scale, whether they could be used for is it one singer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So the same setup as we had on Saturday.
Was that what you used then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't require very much at all in terms of footprint.
No. Okay. So I'm thinking, well, we could possibly put some of the stalls up there as well. Then in that case, get them off the square itself.
Yeah, we could have a crescent at the back or something.
Yeah. So, Charmin, sorry, I saw your hand.
I was just going to bring up where all the gazebos would go, because we were down the left-hand side, as you look up at Weatherspoons last year,
Mm.
if there is a helicopter and all the vehicles on the market square, there may not be room for those.
Yeah. Are we happy to go back into the churchyard? It sort of isolates it a bit, doesn't it? But
It does,
It
but
does.
we've got fewer stands this year because we're not the lead
not
town.
Lee Town. Oh. Okay. All right.
I think if you go in the churchyard, John, you are a bit detached from everything.
Yeah. Max and then Tony. I lost Max. There you are.
So I've just checked the footage. I took some footage of the parade as well as the convoy. Last year, the parade did come after the vehicles were on the square. They continued right up the high street and along Camps Road. They stopped in Camps Road and they were dismissed in Camps Road.
Okay. So we need to stop the traffic, obviously. Okay. Thanks for
So
that.
that would leave the top three for stalls or whatever else you wanted,
Yeah.
or you could use the churchyard.
Thank you, Max. Appreciate that. Tony,
Yes,
Brown?
Yeah, I'm sure the vehicle owners would be more than flexible if you decided to either put some in the loading bay, the last ones can go in the loading bay, or even outside, the front of Peacocks or something like that. If you leave space there as a sort of emergency area, just to make sure that the gazebos can go on the square or wherever they're planned. Because I think, obviously the gazebos are, one of the most important parts of the whole event. All the different. So I would say that vehicle owners would be more than willing to be flexible, and I can arrange that. But obviously we'll see what turns up on the day. And all I'm saying is just please leave a bit of space if possible outside Peacocks, so that we can get some vehicles on there as an overflow, and then maybe to the enhancement of the event anyway.
Well, I was thinking like this, the Jeep type things we could put down there. Yeah, I agree. And it might encourage a few more people because they see them in the high street. Yeah. Okay. I know the police, by the way, have kind of while I remember, the police have said they're going to escort the convoy, and I did ask the Suffolk Fire about 2 months ago now, and I've not had any response from them. And I know last time they had great difficulty getting crews together because of the county council no longer funding these sort of things. Sorry, Colin.
I would be slightly concerned about parking the military vehicles in the loading bay because that's putting our attractions onto a live carriageway. Usually there's barriers are along the line of the lamp columns so that because I've had discussions before with people standing in the middle of Camps Road watching stuff go on in the market square, complaining to me that we haven't closed the road, and me pointing out they're just standing in the road. We're not using the road, we're using the market square. So if we actually use the road, we would need to close it for safety.
No, I fully understand that. Yeah, cheers.
But it would give us more space, and Gary can use his charm on his favourite lady over at Highways Licensing to see whether or not he can get a quick permission.
I can only do my best, Colin.
Just get Anglian Water to come up with one of their emergency road closures that they seem to be doing every other day around the town.
They probably will anyway, and muck up the convoy. I keep looking at the future plans, and it seems to be getting closer and closer. Okay. So, could you do me a favour? Could you drop us an email with your plans so I can update the website?
Well, I don't have a plan yet.
Well, no, I don't mean, you just the things you've listed out.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant a map of where everything.
No. It's just purely just so I say this is what we're anticipating.
Yeah.
In fact, this is a public meeting. I guess we can mention there's going to be a helicopter now. So that's that. Anything else on Armed Forces Day that have we forgotten? Anything like that? Okay. Right. Should we move on then? We got Suffolk Day down here, but we're not planning anything for Suffolk Day, are we?
I don't know. That's the question.
I thought we
We
decided
don't have to
last time.
plan anything. We're not the host
No.
this year. But previous years, even when we've not been the host, I think when Liz Smith was mayor, everyone got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to welcome the sunrise.
Not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. We'll pre-record something if it comes to it, but that's
No, there's no requirement to do anything.
no. Are we happy? I mean, we'll raise the flag, obviously.
We can do, although it is also Prince William's birthday, so,
Correct. So
there's some rivalry over the flags.
Well, I guess his has to go on the main one, and we have to go on the side flag, sidearm. I can't remember the name of the official title. Side something. Is everyone happy with that? That we just raised the flag? Yeah. Okay, it's out of the way then. Right, then we move on to now. VJ80 is listed here as the 15th of August. In fact, it's actually the 15th and the 21st of August. So the 15th is the flag raising in the morning at 9 o'clock, because it's also the same day as Hippie. So I guess we'll be doing the same thing again, but we're gonna as Brian Mills is not here, I guess because it's more of a more of a commemoration rather than a celebration like VE was. Should we make it more of a formal ceremony?
Sorry, John, is it not a celebration rather than commemoration? We're celebrating people coming home at the end of the war.
Well, we are, but also I've also had comments already about people saying, "Are we celebrating?" In fact, we didn't. 2 nuclear bombs were dropped in Japan. We all know the reasons why, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a celebration. We're on about Haverhill. Well, Haverhill didn't drop atomic bombs on Japan. We're celebrating Haverhill residents coming back and the end of the war.
Okay, I'm only quoting what I've been.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be one or two.
There wasn't one or two. I've had quite a few people say to me about it. So,
yeah.
But Councillor Smith, what do you think? I see your hand up.
I thought we'd already decided that it wouldn't be an overt celebration as such. It is commemorating the day. I thought we'd already decided that at previous meetings.
Yeah, well, now's the time to sort out because we're going to start. Do we want to just repeat what we did for VE on that morning?
I personally think we should echo and replicate exactly what we did for VE Day. And to be fair, as Brian and Charmaine and many others know, to be fair, VJ Day, in a lot of people's eyes, was a lot more important because it actually signified the end of the war, the total end of the war. Whereas VE Day was, we're basically, won Europe back, but there was much wider war, and obviously there was a lot of Haverhill men that were in prisoner of war camps, and their condition, etc., wasn't known, and it wasn't okay. VJ, they didn't come back on that day. Obviously, sometimes it was many weeks or months after that they actually made it back. So let's try and keep it in the I would say in the local context.
If I just come back in the end. As you said, it's the same day as the Haverhill in the Park thing. So the reason we can do both is because the BJ Day was going to be very low key. That's my understanding of where we were talking about previous meetings. So we're now sort of reinventing things, aren't we?
No, because
and then we're changing it again.
No, so VJ, we're going to have another event in the church on the 21st. We're not doing it on the 15th itself. Or we're talking about the flag raising at this stage.
Yeah, the 9 o'clock flag raising
And the
day.
flag raising, yeah. So Brian, chime in?
I was just going to come in and say that on the 21st, when we do a sort of a follow-on from VE Day, we will be covering the time that we will be covering why the troops from the 18th Division ended up in Singapore, and that was because of the nuclear bombs being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it will be mentioned. It certainly won't be forgotten, but that will be at the 1 o'clock on the 21st of August event.
Yeah. So that's fine. I mean, I'm only quoting what people said. I mean, as far as I was concerned, we were just going to repeat what we did for VE Day on the 15th. Because obviously we're not having an event on the 15th because Hippie's on. For obvious reasons. So happy with that, to just continue with that, which is fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
I'm half thinking of the minutes, but mostly thinking of me. What have we just agreed?
Basically, to repeat what we did for VE flag raising.
And that's on the 21st or the 15th?
15th.
15th is flag raising, and 21st is
the event in the church.
Okay, thank you.
That's at 1 o'clock.
That's at 1 o'clock, because that's normally when the Friends of St Mary's were due to have their events, so we combined the two effectively.
I mean,
in the middle of the holidays as well, it might get a few more people there.
Thanks.
Professor Brown?
Yeah, looking back on the evening event that we did for VE Day, and how well it was attended, and potentially VJ Day being a bigger event for Haverhill residents, could we not potentially move it to the evening of the 21st? I don't know how that fit with Max or whatever, but I think we had a lot of people turn up for VE Day. I think we'd get that replicated again for VJ Day, and I think it makes it a better event of an evening, to be fair. Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Well, it was because it was combined with the Friends of St Mary's event, which would normally be on that day, but also there was we couldn't do it on the 15th because there's other things going on in the church.
Yeah.
Actually, John, it wouldn't ordinarily be a lunchtime concert day. I think we slotted it in at the soonest date that we possibly could, the week after. I mean, you're right that Friends of St Mary's do have their lunchtime concerts on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, but it's usually the last weekend or the last Thursday in the month. Well,
I'm flexible. I mean, VJ as a period, although it was called VJ Day, nothing actually happened till the 2nd of September. That's why we chose that 2-week period. But we didn't want to do it the following week because it's getting up towards bank holiday and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a little bit more low key. I think you've got to be careful because I don't think there's any music planned as such. Certainly haven't been in touch with any of the choirs.
No.
To turn it into an evening event, people may expect more than what you can deliver at this short stage.
Yeah,
well,
that's right.
It's keeping the length down to about an hour. And because we're going to have a roll call of all the people who were over there and those that did not come back, there'd be little time to include too much music. So it would have a totally different feel to it.
Yeah, because the current plan is that we're going to video like we did for VJ 75. We're going to video people reading out those roll calls, that roll call of people. And probably, because we might be doing it on video, is to, hopefully put some sort of biography of that person on the screen at the same time. So that will take on a lot. The silver band are not available. That's why I pre-recorded some stuff for VE.
So we do have their music, don't we, John? We have some of their music. and there are 2 or 3 videos like we used for Churchill's declaration. We've got 2 or 3 more videos that we can include.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's
But
lots of stuff.
to keep it within that hour, it would be very difficult to go down the route where we have lots of music.
Yeah.
And encourage choirs to come and take part.
Yeah, I fully understand that we would not be able to have music at this late stage, but I just feel personally that it would be very well attended, and I think that a lot of people would, seeing the amount of people that turn up to VE night, is that if we had it at 1 till 2, a lot of people wouldn't be able to attend through work commitments, etc., etc. And I think there'd be quite a bit of disappointment. This is just with hindsight. We talked about this earlier, and we did agree 1 o'clock. But I'm just looking back at how well received the VE Day was, and how many residents turned up. So all I'm thinking is, if possible, can we have it of an evening just to give everyone the chance to turn up? I can understand that we can't have the same sort of music format or whatever, but it just gives people, more people the opportunity to come along.
Just to clarify, the lack of music has got nothing to do with the late stage or anything. It's just that they're not here; they're on holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Is the church free, Max, in the evening?
On the 21st, yes.
It is. So potentially we could go to the evening.
Yeah.
I just think that it feel really good for people that have relatives that were incarcerated, I think, come back to have their name read out of an evening.
If we just go back to this whole idea of it being a commemoration or a celebration, I think we decided, or we thought, that it would probably be better as a celebration, because we intend, this is a family history group now, intend to do a cemetery walk.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about the casualties from there, and that will be the sort of more commemorative.
Yeah.
aspect of the
Remember
day.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. The only reason we mentioned it before, Simon, if you remember, we said about trying to encourage people who would normally go to a lunchtime thing to attend that. We best one in the world, the VE 81. I did say 2 people and a dog, and would turn up, but I was quite surprised everyone turned up.
We were surprised by the number of people that turned up. You're right. It turned out to be very popular, didn't it?
Okay. Are we happy then to go for that evening then instead? In which case we obviously need to change any social media stuff and everything near the date. We've got to decide what we're going to have on it yet, Charmaine and Max and everybody.
I have started to work on that, so we're
I'm
ready
sure
for
you
a
have.
meeting.
I know what you're like. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any thoughts on that now?
I think it's down to Max, really. Is obviously his church and such like.
Well, so the church is available either at lunchtime or in the evening. One question. I think part of the reason that VE Day had quite a lot of support might be that there was quite a lot of national coverage, and there was a lot of things happening elsewhere in the country and a lot in the media. Do we know if it's likely to get that sort of coverage at VJ Day? My guess is it will again.
Yeah, I think it will, Max, especially in East Anglia.
Yeah, that was my feelings.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's probably almost definitely the last time that a survivor of what happened on that day is going to be around. So I think the government is going to make a quite a thing of it, because next time the 85th anniversary, you can almost definitely say there won't be anyone. Yeah.
I don't think the Cambridges have got anyone left. I think their last veteran died last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the VJ, the government website, VE-VJ80, had very little about VE Day. And the commemorations that were had seemed to come quite as a big surprise. People like myself, I thought, oh, when was this arranged? And obviously it was a big day. Spoken to my son, who was literally outside Buck Palace. He said, "Oh, I've known about it for weeks." And I said, "I wish you'd told me because I'd have known what was going on." So VJ side of things at the moment, it just says more than those things, but there's nothing really there at the moment.
It may be down to I'm sure I read the other day that the government are going to cut, or they have cut, the Department of Culture, Media, Sport. So potentially that could have something to do.
Yeah,
with
maybe. I mean, where it's got events, there's actually nothing there at the moment. It's all about VE Day, nothing about VJ Day. So I'm a little bit surprised about it. But we can do whatever we want to do. So let's go for the evening. We'll do 7 o'clock again. Plan for an hour, and see what we got at the end of it. Anyone got any adverse comments to that? No. Okay, we move on then. Right, probably the one that Adam's. Remembrance Sunday, Sunday the 9th of November. As far as I know, nothing's changing. Sarah's booked the Sea Cadets band again. Did you tell me you'd done the road closure thing, Gary?
No, I said I would do it probably the next few weeks, which is now arriving. So at some point the next week or so, or by the end of this week, I'll contact Highways and start the process, because the 3 months is the middle of
August.
August.
No.
So it needs to be done within the next 3 or 4 weeks. But I think I'd rather do it sooner rather than later. So I'll get into contact with them before.
Yeah.
What will happen is I'll get in contact with them. They'll tell me that all is fine. And then what we normally do every year is that I chase them up, and then we end up having a meeting about 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And then everybody their side panics.
Yeah, exactly. And they come down and say, "Oh, we're quite surprised about what you want." Yeah, I know.
And how busy the road is. Oh, we didn't realise it was a main road. No,
I know. Tell me about it. Okay. Anyone got any comments on Remembrance? I think we've already been over what happened last year. Went very well, I thought.
Oh, sorry. Just on the road closures.
Yeah.
Will the road that runs around the outside, which we could possibly, I know you're not calling it a ring road, the relief road or whatever.
Relief road, yeah.
Will that be open in order
Yes.
to send traffic another direction?
Yes, yeah, that should. Hopefully, it's opening next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
well, not officially, but yeah, just opened. Yeah.
Yes, that would help us with directing traffic around the town centre. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, it would naturally have done that anyway. You'd like to think, anyway. Anyone else got any comments on that we need to change, or any comments on Remembrance? I know it's still a long way off, but it soon comes round. No. Many volunteers. Well, we don't need that because we're not. Just making sure we don't have problems with radios this year like we did last year and that sort of stuff. Okay. So, and we'll move on. Vicky's not here, but Civic service. I think we decided it was going to be on the 3rd of December, didn't we? Last time.
I'm just checking the diary. I think that's right. Yes, that's booked in the diary on the 3rd.
Yeah, it says the minutes was a date. It's been set the 3rd of September. 3rd of December. Sorry. So if we could change that in the event calendar, however you manage that. Right. Anybody else got anything on civic service? No.
I guess I need to meet with Quinn and
yeah.
Vicky on that.
Yes, please, Max.
We usually try and meet September to get things going.
Yeah, Vicky normally
Well,
sends out the invites and everything.
I might drop Vicky an email and just try and get a meeting set up for that.
Right, appreciate that, Max. Anybody else? No. Okay, are you still there, Colin?
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
here.
no, sorry, that's fine. That's fine. It's all right. Right, so date of next meeting is Monday the 7th of July. And we'll close the meeting at 2016. Oh, he's changed, that's why.